What's up, everybody? It's Doctor Who Day! Here we are yet again, back with Doctor Who. The anniversary is still going strong. And speaking of going strong, I am in a brilliant mood. Vegeta, what does the scout say about his power level?
It's over 9,000!
Thank you so much for 9,000 subscribers. You guys are the best community on earth, and we keep proving it with these community reaction movies. Initially, I planned on making a separate review type video after the community reactions, but due to how extensive these are, I've instead decided to make an overall review on all of them once they're all out instead. These have been great. And yes, yet again, I'm doing another. So if you want to be included in the community reaction, don't forget to comment your thoughts below and also vote on the poll. I wish YouTube allowed polls to be embedded in the comment section of the video. That would be great. I wish YouTube allowed polls to be like embedded in the comment section of the video. That would be so good. But it's not just that. We finally won. If you don't know, more than a couple weeks ago, one of my videos was randomly hit with a copyright strike. It got taken down and I got a strike, with some of my channel perks being taken away and a massive red warning mark on my YouTube page. Of course, the claim itself was completely bogus, but for a second there, I was scared that the whole channel might go down. The cards were so stacked against me, and I felt like I was Sisyphus, pushing the boulder up the hill. But after almost, or maybe even a month of fighting, we finally won. The strike is gone. My channel is back, and there's no way to get rid of me now. So I'll hopefully be uploading more videos from now on. We'll be able to finally go back to normal. But that's not all I'm excited about. Wild Blue Yonder. I did a poll a few days ago asking which special people were most excited for, and this one won by a landslide. And I have to agree. I mean, to be fair, I did say in the last video that I am so positive going into this one that, and I think the quote is, even if it's the biggest piece of shit ever, I will still call it brilliant. But I have faith that it's going to be brilliant on its own merit, so that's all fine. I am so excited, you guys. It's going to be great. But these are just my thoughts and preamble before the program starts. Members, I hope you enjoy the live commentary, and I will see you on the other side. Oh my god. Okay, I just finished watching Wild Blue Yonder. And I know that I said that no matter the quality of the episode, that I was gonna say that it was brilliant. But it was brilliant. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Oh my god, I loved it, guys. Is it perfect? No. Is it perfect on the script? Yes. There were some parts of the execution that I will be fine with, some people pointing to and being like, this doesn't make sense, this looks a bit weird, this is wrong, etc, etc. On the page, writing wise, the script, god damn, was this good? This was amazing. I know Doctor Who is famous for its big drastic leaps in quality from episode to episode, but the massive improvement that this episode is to the Star Beast, it cannot be understated. Everything is so much better here than it is in the Star Beast. It is actually insane. Literally every single aspect. Can I just come out and say, Murray Gold, the music in this episode was incredible. It was so good. He brought back some elements of Sega Nakanola's mix while also providing, you know, the music cues that we all know, and also a bunch of just new stuff in general. Mwah! Chef's kiss. After watching the Star Beast a couple times, I was not all too impressed with the score, to be honest. But goddamn, did this just reinvigorate my faith, because this is an outstanding soundtrack that really elevated a lot of moments for me, whilst also homaging the past and also paving the way for the new step forward. Also, did you guys see that Next Time trailer? We've got Ncuti Gatwa in the TARDIS. I can't wait, guys. Is that a real shot of the regeneration, or is it a fake out like Lie of the Land? I don't know, but I'm so excited for next week. I don't think it can be as good as this episode, unless it's 90 minutes long, but a lot of people were saying last week, the pacing was fine. What did you expect the pacing to be? And then I go into this episode and the pacing is perfect. They got it down to a science, people. That's the pacing I'm expecting from a Doctor Who episode. The pacing for this is already so much better than the Star Beast, man. It's actually crazy. We have the slow build of intrigue, introducing all the new elements. We have all the characters that we... It's like building a jigsaw puzzle. Everything fits together nicely. Trust me, I'll talk about that opening scene in a bit, but we just gotta go through it. There was a perfect natural progression from scene to scene. There weren't that many janky edits. I thought there was one, but then I realized that that's what they were going for, and I figured out, hang on, that's actually really clever. That is not Donna. Just brilliant editing. You can instantly tell that something's a little wrong. Just subconsciously cluing into the audience that something is not as it seems through one cut, which, I mean, it's brilliant, but also kind of proves my point about the Star Beast, where I was disorientated and thrown through a loop from strange cuts. Strange cuts were making me confused and not really knowing what was going on. And then this episode utilizes strange cuts intentionally to cue the audience in that something weird is going on. It feels like everything is an improvement from last week. It feels like a totally different show. I mean, cutting back all of the secondary cast and just focusing on Dr. Donna, on David Tennant and Catherine Tate, these actors are there enough to carry a whole production. And this proves it. They were on top form. I love how the relationship has evolved. It feels like a continuation on, but there's also so much that's different there. The Doctor kissing Donna's hand, the Doctor hugging her to make sure that she knows she's safe. Oh my god, it's so good. David Tennant throughout the whole episode, man, was on top form. Rusty Davies really showing his appreciation of the character of the Doctor. He is missed writing for Doctor, you can tell through some of these lines, man. There is so many funny, cheeky lines. If the Star Beast is Rusty Davies on a weekday, Wild Blue Yonder is Rusty Davies writing a smash hit. I think the highlight of the episode for me was the Flux reference. God damn, I was so excited. You guys don't know. I love that stuff so much. Oh my god, I so appreciate not having everything spoiled to me. You don't even know. I know that other people don't like Flux as much as I do, but I feel like even if I didn't like Flux, this retroactively makes it better because they mention it. And thank God they did, because I love it so much, and it was such a good scene, and it was emotional. Oh my fucking god, this shit is fire. Rusty Davies mentioned earlier that there'll be a Timeless Child reference in Wild Blue Yonder. I didn't know whether he was going to handle it well, whether it was just going to be a one-off thing. It is a one-off thing, but he handled it perfectly. God, it was such a great scene. Okay, but now let's talk about the opening scene. They have the Wavity, I think it is. Was it Mavity? Maybe it was Mavity or Wavity, because they go back in time and they change Isaac Newton from saying gravity. Did they do a race swap on Isaac Newton? Okay, guys. Now, stuff like that for me, I can very easily look over. I know there's going to be people who are pissed off, right? And for me personally, it did kind of throw me off because I just didn't think it was going to be Isaac Newton until way too late. But at the same time, I don't really care because it's just a casting thing, right? They were probably like, well, we're just going to cast anyone. And then they found the guy and they were like, yeah, let's do that. I don't really care about like these one-off tiny race swap stuffs, especially for a gag. Now, I know that that is going to be important going forward and it's going to play a role in the in the coming episode because they kept mentioning it. They kept beating you over the head that this is important, this is important. So don't worry, I got the message. But I personally don't really take issue with that. But I know a lot of people will, which is why I'm mentioning it. I think I have the same policy on race swaps, is the same as all other sensible people, which is in a case-by-case basis. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. Now, of course, there is a little bit more in there when it's, you know, real life people and not characters, like comic book characters who get race swapped. Like in the Flash TV show, for example, Iris and I don't think I've ever heard anyone, literally anyone, ever care or say anything about that. So I do understand if someone would get mad at that, but personally, I just really don't care, and I thought the episode was brilliant. That opening scene actually really reminded me of something that would appear in the Jodie Whittaker era. One of those kind of cold opens that the Doctor then bursts in, or a monster then bursts in. That happens quite a few times actually in series, and in all of the series, 11, 12 and 13. Something I also noticed is that it seems that from now on the TARDIS isn't going to be materializing, dematerializing, it's just going to be slamming in and out of everywhere. I personally don't like it. I actually think it looks better when it dematerializes. I think it's just a really cool effect. But what I did like was the Doctor pushing the TARDIS along with his foot on the ground. I thought that was genius. Speaking of that scene, the Doctor taking the wrong Donna, just brilliant tension building. You know, keep the audience on their toes, keep them guessing. Now, I know Rusty Davies said, oh, this is going to be a horror-based episode, but I know that when he said horror-based episode, I knew he meant horror episode for the kiddies, right? So obviously, if you're a little kid and you're watching this, you're going to be scared out of your mind. But for me, I'm able to appreciate that, even if, of course, none of the jump scares got me, none of the special effects, in my opinion, were even slightly spooky. They were more funny than spooky to me. I'm still able to appreciate the kind of horror aspect of it, especially for a little kid. And I suppose that takes us to the special effects portion, which, I mean, it is by far the weakest part of the episode. The green screen is a little shoddy. The particle accelerator, I mean the ship. You wonder why I brought up Iris from Flash. It's because it looks exactly like the particle accelerator from Flash. It's a bit of a weird green screen. Looks fine. Let's just say it looks great. Why not? It reminds me of the Flash's particle accelerator, which is a show that came out 9 years ago, but it looks basically about as good. And well, yeah, the special effects aren't all that, especially the TikTok filter that they put on the face of the aliens that were chasing after them, which I will talk about them because they were great. Oh man, so many people are gonna hate on this, aren't they? I love it, I think it's brilliant. But the filter itself is basically the same filter that was put over, what's her name? I'm saying Angelisa, but it's something like that. It's Lady Angelisa from Silence in the Library Forest of the Dead. Someone in the comments will remember the full thing. I'm buzzed up, guys. I can't remember the name of the one-off character, but you guys know what I mean. It's basically the same effect that they put on her face. It's very funny, I will say that. I found it really endearing. I found it cool when they were going on that flying little cart. It's not a cart because it doesn't have wheels, but I don't know what else to call it. Even if it didn't look the best, for me, I was just imagining the script and reading it in script form, because I've actually been reading a lot of Doctor Who scripts for about the past 3 years now, guys. I'm addicted. But I was imagining it in script form, and that also helped me really enjoy it. The voice that was playing, that was listing off the numbers, I don't know who they got to do the voice acting for that. That guy's got a cool ass voice, I'ma just say it. But this leads us away from the, to be fair, shoddy special effects, but it's Doctor Who, you know what I mean? And takes us to the threat of the episode. These villains, these clones, it's a brilliant idea. It's genius, man. It's such a genius idea. The way they slowly pulled it off, they slowly kept revealing pieces of the puzzle. I knew that some weird shape-shifting thing was at play as soon as Donna walked in, man. You can just tell in the performance. That's brilliant. A lot of the camera shots from afar, from like behind the corner or from behind the things, those were also great at building tension. And I love the contrast in the different performances between the monster Doctor and Donna and the real Doctor and Donna. They had some just brilliant moments, and the counting the salt thing was really funny, and that's gonna be important later with the toy maker. Speaking of which, I wonder if Rose being a toy maker herself is gonna tie into the main villain being the toy maker. I did mention that briefly in my last video, which released this morning, by the way. I'm sorry guys, but I'm just saying it again in case people miss it here. Yeah, I released my community reaction this morning because, well, it was meant to release on Wednesday, but then a copyright block happened because I tried to use footage from the episode in it, and on Thursday and Fridays I finished late, so I didn't have time to fully edit it until late Friday night. And so by then I was like, oh, I'll just schedule it to 9 AM on Saturday and do a double upload. So hopefully the next community reaction won't take that long. I'm also working on a couple other projects in the background, hopefully for Christmas. So yeah, I'm just juggling a lot of things, but I still have time to enjoy a good ass episode of Doctor Who. The 2 stars are incredible, and Murray Gold's score is going hard as hell. I think every line of dialogue. I loved every line of dialogue. I like how they weaved the song Wild Blue Yonder into the episode. I thought that was pretty clever. The people who thought John Sim was going to be in this episode, come on guys, who are you kidding? IMDb always lies, by the way. But I thought it was a small, compact, well-paced, well-executed, wonderful script in an episode that, while didn't have the best special effects, it is Doctor Who. Now, I've said before that my judgment on whether it's reasonable or not to criticize the visuals of a Doctor Who episode is whether or not they released after the 50th anniversary, because there is a massive jump up in quality from pre-Series 7 to Series 7 and post. And the only series which I think visually you can't give it a lot of slack post 2013 is Flux, because it's a COVID series, so they really had to do a bunch of workarounds to try and make that series look even as half as good as it does, and it does still look good up until around 3/4 of the way through. But I am way more forgiving to Series 13's visuals than Series 7 to 12's. If an episode in Series 7 to 12 looks bad, at that point there isn't really much of an excuse. And in this episode's case, it's the 60th anniversary, and I had like a £10 million budget, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it had add even more. So for the special effects to not look seamless, let's say, it is a little bit of a letdown, but simply due to the pure adrenaline I felt while watching the episode. Wild Blue Yonder is an episode where it feels like it's got the perfect length, whereas the Star Beast feels like it's way too short. It fits everything in there. It literally does. The only loose threads are the things that are designed to be loose threads. And outside of that, I think I've said everything for now, my initial raw reaction. I've got a lot I can say, but I'm gonna save it for the community reaction video, which hopefully should not be releasing in a week's time. Leave your guys' comments below if you want to be included. I wonder if people are going to be pro or con. I assume a lot of people are going to be pro. I personally loved it. I'm thinking initial reactions, 8 out of 10. Seriously? No, seriously. I really like this one, guys. Russell T Davies, you did it again, you lovable bastard. And I can't wait till next week. Oh, yes! Oh my fucking god, I'm so excited, so happy. Rest in peace, Bernard Cribbins. We love you. You were the highlight of this episode, the real star. I loved every frame you were on screen, and I can't wait to see more of what's happening next week. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Can you believe 92% of people watch and don't subscribe? Come on guys, you could be in the under 10k club. And if you want to help support the channel even more, you can click the join button below to become a member. You get access to multiple perks and benefits such as the full commentary of my reaction, access to the Discord server, early teasers, and more. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.